episode of Sleeping Giants, Red Star Belgrade. Now, in our last episode, we were knocked out of the Europa League, and I was disappointed because we let that happen, and we shouldn't have. We managed to beat them in Turkey, so we should no way in hell be losing against them at home, and that was just bad play from us, and it was disappointing. Well, I mean, that being said, we still played well enough, I think, to win the game, but that's just sometimes what happens. We were too complacent at the back and conceded the goals, so it was not a good thing. Now, one thing we do need to go over in today's game, firstly, I actually wanted to say that I'm going to be saying this on both my videos today, is thank you. I haven't had a chance to really say this because it's been a bit hectic lately, and I really want to put this into a video because I really do want to make it clear how grateful I am. Basically, we hit 4K, 4,000 subscribers about a week ago now, I think it actually was, but I really have been... I was going to do a video separately on it, which is why I hadn't said it in these, but I might just... I'm going to wait to do something special for something else for that. So, yeah, massive thank you to everyone. Seriously, every single subscribers, every single like, every single view means the world to me because, about 5 months ago, I was making videos just for the fun of making videos, and I'm still doing that. The difference is now there's people that actually find things interesting, and it's just amazing. So seriously, thank you to every single one of you who has subscribed, and if you're brand new to the channel and you haven't subscribed yet, feel free to hit that big old red button with the little play button on it. Anyway, right, one thing has happened this month, and that is the youth intake. So we do actually have something to talk about in terms of that. So this is the thing. So who have we got here? So obviously we've got people like Vasco, who... he looks phenomenal, but he's from a previous season. This is the most exciting prospect from this year. This is Dejan Pejakovic. I don't think he's too bad. He's not quite as good as it was originally stated, actually, which is slightly odd. I think maybe in comparison to Vasco, he's probably not quite as good, but for me, he's still fairly decent, basically. He's probably the best sort of prospect. We do still have some fairly decent prospects in our youth academy now. There's obviously a lot of players, but many of these will just get released in the end because they are not up to scratch. But I'm really excited about Branislav Vasco. I think he's going to be great. We've got so much quality in the fullback areas. This team is unbelievable. Both in our youth academy and in the players I've been able to sign for us. And it's not because I'm deliberately looking there. It's just I'm picking up players that are good, basically, regardless of their positions, because they're generally quite cheap. And yeah, so that's just one of those things. But I'm very, very pleased. Pejakovic could still be a very, very decent player for all we know. And he's going to take a long time to develop, I'm sure. But he is only 15, so he's got plenty of time in which to do that. So there's that. The other thing I wanted to show you is transfers. Right. In the last episode, I talked about some transfers that I hadn't quite set up yet. Well, yeah. I have now. I've managed to secure them. Basically, there was 2 I was looking at. I wasn't entirely sure on a couple. Plus, I wasn't entirely sure on their, I wanted to make sure that I had them properly scouted before I actually went ahead with the deals, because as much as the stars could be useful, I wanted to see their stats. So the first one is Solomon Friday. Now, he may not look special in terms of his current ability or potential, really, but I just don't know. I like this lad. He's got some, he's a centre midfielder, which is another area that I really, really like, basically. I just think, I can't remember whether we play attacking or support, but for me, apart from his positioning and his decisions, which he just has some good teamwork is high, determination is high. I feel like he's got a lot of potential to at least push himself to the best of his ability, and he is still only 17. So I don't know. I think he's a decent enough player, and he's got a few different positions he can play. He can play right mid as well as push further forward. So he's not a bad one. And he's cost us 115,000, so it wasn't exactly a huge outlay. 150,000 rather. The one I am most pleased about though is this guy. This is Amir Ashraf, and he's Egyptian. We signed him from Ismaili. Well, we haven't signed him yet, but you know what I mean. We will be signing him from Ismaili. But, I just, look at that. 18 dribbling at 17 years old. And he's a fullback, bear in mind. Yeah, I know it's another fullback, but just one of those things you're going to have to deal with. 17 heading for a fullback is pretty damn good. He's got, okay, his jumping reach is pretty poor, but at least he can head the ball well. Tackling 15... marking 11, okay, it's not so great. Crossing isn't bad either. I just think he's got a lot of potential to be an incredibly good fullback for us. And it was just a pleasure to get him in. It cost us $500,000, so it's a fair bit of an outlay on that one. But I just think that sometimes getting players like this are worth it. I don't know if he's actually been playing for Ismaili. Not really. But the point is he'll be joining us along with all of these guys. He won't be joining us just yet. The only one actually joining in the summer is Sergio Obando. This lad here, who is a central defender, so he'll be joining our central defensive ranks. I've also agreed to sell Bogdan Planic for £900,000 because I feel that we've got a lot of great young defenders coming through, and I want to make a little bit of room so that they can be our backups rather than him, basically, because I feel that he will start complaining soon as well. So yeah, the only guy that's actually joining us this summer is Obando, but in January, oh lovely, we've got Jalminio, Wesley, Solomon Friday, Ashraf, and Marcel Burez, and just still really, really like the look of this lad. I don't know how he's been doing playing for Sigma. I tell you what, his stats are pretty damn good. Because when he's played, he scores. And that is nothing to be sniffed at. So I'm pretty looking forward to him. Just seeing whether any of the others have actually had some game time. What about China? He cost us a fair amount. Already 2-star ability. Me likey. How about him? Yeah, he's played a game. He's played a few games for Guesh, but I don't know when their season starts, so that could be anything. Nico Kaspers, he's the one I'm most excited about, but he's going to be a while before he's actually joining us. I don't suppose he's played for Prussian Munster. No, okay, but that's fair enough. So, yeah, there you go. Carriman is also joining Saprissa at the end of the season. Geraldo's gone off to Osasuna, and Bogdan Planic is joining Grasshopper. He says 350,000 there, but it is 625 up front. I'm fairly certain of that. Plus another 300 and something thousand. I'm definitely sure of that. It said fee 645, I think it was. Right, so let's get into what we've actually had happen this month. Now, in our first match of the month, we were up against Chukwuritski, and this was a crucial one in the league game, because they were technically second. Although it's fluctuated, because, of course, it's quite a tight-knit group of teams that are right in behind us, and this game very nearly didn't go the way I was hoping. Like, we, as you can see, absolutely dominated them. 27 shots, but we did only create the one really good opportunity, and that's a worry for me. But we did get out. We actually missed a penalty early on in this one. But when we finally did get the chance to take the lead, and it was, of course, Luka Jovic, who else is it going to be, that gave us the chance. I don't know what Bazan Vera was doing there, chesting it all the way into the corner here for Vukasin Jovanovic to go and release this. But we did actually play the ball right upfield and eventually score from this play. So it was some nice football. Zahavi started in the middle for this one. Nice ball out there to Zivkovic. Zivkovic running down the wing with it, and then of course we'll eventually end up with Luka Jovic, a good header. The keeper maybe could have done a little bit better, but the point is it is 1-0 there on the half an hour mark, and in a match against a team that are around you in the league, you need results like this. Basically, it's of paramount importance. Took us a little while to kill the game off, and I was a little bit worried about them nicking something late on, because they really didn't create anything apart from that one half chance, which you're not going to see as a highlight, but believe me, it was basically a header that was saved. And not a particularly good one either. Adamenko's had another great month with regards to assists and all sorts, basically. But we managed to wrap the game up eventually on 80 minutes. And I think, if I recall, it's a good finish from Militic here. Just places that in the bottom corner for 2-0. And for his 13th goal of the season, he's doing okay. He and Otto are sharing that deep line forward role very, very nicely. It's sort of nice to be able to rotate the two of them, frankly. So there you go. A 2-0 win over Chukwuritski was important. In our next game, we played against Bazania, and this was really crucial for us because it's away from home. Although they are doing badly in the league, you can just never tell what's going to happen. And as you can see, it took us 60 minutes to actually break them down, basically. So I was very, very worried. We had to push and go a bit more attacking in the second half of this game because we hadn't managed to do it in the first half, which was worrying. But thankfully, we did eventually get the breakthrough on 6 minutes. Lovely ball through from Militic, good touch from Savicevic, and a good finish just to not wrap things up, but give us the lead on the hour mark. And that's what we needed, basically. Thankfully, we were able to get ourselves a second goal in this game because I would have been a little bit on the edge otherwise, because it keeps our winning run going, basically. And that was the crucial thing here. I just wanted to try and keep on that winning run for as long as is physically possible. And of course, Jovic here goes around one man, and great save. It comes back eventually, and Mahatma Otto in off the post there to score his 17th of the season. And he's actually got quite a lot, and he's kind of slipped under the radar again a little bit. Has maybe gone off the boil a little lately, but still been very, very prolific for us. On 84 minutes, they did actually get one back, which I was a little bit annoyed about because it was a great finish, but we shouldn't be conceding goals. In games like this where we're completely in control and dominating, we shouldn't be conceding goals. Especially not ones like that. I mean, it's a great goal, make no mistake about it. It reminds me of Dempsey's chip against Juventus. But still, we shouldn't be conceding those. We need to cut that kind of thing out. I know we're winning the game, but we need to cut that kind of crap out of our game because it could come back to haunt us. In our next game, things were a little bit more cushy, shall we say. Against Zemun here, I mean, this was a complete whitewash. They had a red card as well, but that was after most of this has happened. It was quite a sort of goals from 36 minutes onwards. It was just, yeah. I mean, we're getting our revenge here because Zemun actually beat us, I think, 3-2 early in the season. Adamenko was so good in this game. Ball in, and originally it's going to get saved. But the fact is, he still picked himself up 2 assists in this match. He's now got 10 assists this season, Adamenko. I'm really impressed with him. And he's just getting better and better. He spends most of his time, it seems, in the opposition half, frankly, because in the league, there's actually very little defending to actually be done. So he's basically just a second right winger. But he plays the role very, very well. He plays as the wing back and does it. Watch this for just bombing down, great ball in, and Jovic there to smash in the finish for his, well, 26th goal of the season now. I think he could maybe get 40 for us this year if he carries on in this kind of form in the league. Not 40 in the league, of course. I think he could probably get 25 in the league and definitely be top goal scorer. But I think there's a chance for him to get 40 overall for us. Militic again coming inside. Jovic then drills it low to make it 2-0 there to grab his second. It's just, yeah, it's a case of just grinding it out here. But fact is, when the third goal came in the second half, we just picked up where we left off. Ball out to Adamenko again, whips it in, it's going to come back to him, and watch this for a finish from Militic, smashing it in off the crossbar. And you think that's good? Watch what he does in a minute, because his second goal of this game was even better. He got 2 in this, and Jovic got a hat-trick. It was basically the strikers just doing what they do. And of course Adamenko getting in there with the assist. Stan the man here, he's done a good job, but I might still have to look for a goalkeeper in the summer, just because I don't know how much, he's not got the hugest amount of potential. I'd like to get a goalkeeper with sort of 4-star potential perhaps, that way we can know that he's going to grow, whereas this guy's only got like 3. Watch this from Militic, just bang! He's just been so good in this match. You can't go wrong with Militic. In fact, if anything, he's catching up with Otto. And then, of course, in the 90th minute, we had to, well, complete the thing. We had to round things off, and Luka Jovic needed to get himself his hat-trick, and that's exactly what he did. By just, look, I mean, he's just such a determined player. I think he'll pretty much be able to score 30, 40 goals for us every season that he plays for us in this save. And I'm hoping that that's a long time. I really am hoping that he will stay with us, and that we can try and achieve our goals with Luka Jovic at the club, frankly, because, you know, if we keep going up in the world in Europe, then hopefully that'll be enough for him to stay. But it does depend on how good he actually gets. Adamenko again here. This is some nice football as well. Otto drops it down. Kreklic knocks it back. And Jovic just drills that into the bottom corner for a lovely goal and our 5th of the match. Now, we need more wins like that when we're at home, frankly. In our next game, we had our most recent game. This one was a bit of an annoyance. We won the game 3-1, which is all well and good. Unfortunately, Cucuricchi scored with their first shot on target. In fact, first shot game, they had 2 shots, essentially. One was blocked, and then on the follow-up they put it in, and that was their first actual shots of any sort of this game, which was a pain. But we were very good, getting ourselves in front on 7 minutes through Luka Jovic, no doubt, with his 9th goal in the cup alone. Now, the thing that annoyed me about this game wasn't the fact that we conceded the goals. It was the fact that I decided to make some substitutions on, I don't know what happened there, it was an own goal. I decided to make some substitutions on 76 minutes to keep players fresh for the Partizan game. In so doing, look, so that was my last 2 subs, and you know what happens when you make the last 2 subs early. This is why I generally don't do it, because you get injuries afterwards. So the moment I'd finished making the 2 subs, our goalkeeper got injured, and it meant that I actually had to put Vukasin Jovanovic, an outfield player, in goal for the last 16 minutes of the match. Then, the moment I hit confirm, it came back again because Savicevic had got himself injured. Ridiculous. Jovanovic actually scored a goal in this game and went in goal for 15 minutes. So, yeah, we ended up finishing the game with 9 men and an outfield player in goal and still won the game 3-1. We didn't concede after that. It was mental. But, Jesus, like, the moment you make that 3rd sub, it's like, right, injury, and that's what happened. But we come out with the result, 3-1 win in the first leg. 3-0 would have been better because I could have maybe rested some players for the second leg, but I'm still pretty confident in us getting to the cup final, which brings us to today. And this is how the league's now shaping up. We are now 11 points clear at the top. 16 wins out of 19 is incredible. Also, we've won 13 in a row. We've taken 39 points from our last 13 games, maximum points. 11 points clear of Napredak, 12 points clear of Jagodina, and as you can see there, 16 points clear of 4th place Cucuricchi now, who really have fallen off the pace since that defeat to us. Now, you notice that Partizan, though, are even further down. We are 22 points above them. They've not won since we last played this. They've not won since the last episode. They've lost 1 and drawn 2, I think. It's crazy to see them down as far as this, which is why I'm pretty confident that we can go into this and get a win. And if we win, that takes us 25 points clear of Partizan Belgrade, and means we will actually be... They will be unable to finish above us in like a couple of matches, literally like 2 or 3 games. They'll be unable to catch us, which is phenomenal and exactly what we need. I'm wondering if we can win at Partizan, if there's a chance for us to actually go and win every single game for the rest of the season and make it 24 in a row. You just never know. But anyway, let's take a little look at the squad. Apologies, this episode's going to be dragging on a little bit, but we did have quite a few things to go over. Top goal scorer is Luka Jovic with 29 in 35, which is still very impressive. Otto in there with 17 and Savicevic with 15. And, of course, Militic also has 15. Assists, Militic at the top with 14. Otto just in behind with 13. So Militic has actually overtaken him now. Most player of the match. Savicevic and Ristic with 5 apiece. Yellow cards, Bazan Vera with 11. Red cards, well, no one's actually been sent off for us, which is a positive sign. Best overall is Ristic with 7.7. You can't ignore that. Key aerial challenges, Bazan Vera with 67. Key passes, Ristic has 108, which is superb. Key tackles, Jovanovic. And, of course, interceptions is Bazan Vera with 310. So there we go. Let's get into the match preview screen. Now, I personally think that Partizan are there for the taking, basically. I don't think they're the team they were, and I think if we go with our standard team, although admittedly we can't play Savicevic, and we do have quite a few injuries and unregistered, unfortunately, still. So hopefully that should be enough. Actually, wait. Do I want to play... Who do I want to... Do I want Otto to start? No, actually, Militic has been in great form. So I think we're going to give him the benefit of the doubt and start him. It's nice to have Zahavi as a potential player to bring off the bench anyway. So, yeah, that should be good, actually, I think. Plus, we have a maximum of 4 in play. Oh, no, they're in the team anyway, so there we go. Let's go. Submit this. I personally think that we can win today, and I think win today and... Well, it's not like it's going to make us champions. We are already, surely, going to be champions now. We're 11 points clear. With every game we play, we essentially extend that league a little bit more. But I don't really want to lose here, because as much as Partizan still have no chance of catching us, I really just want to finish them off, if that makes sense. Just win here, on their ground, do the double over them like they did to us last year. We still won the league, though, even though they did the double over us. But this year, I just want to embarrass them, basically. Pull their pants down in their own stadium. Go 25 points clear. Of them, anyway. And hopefully, if some other teams slip up, maybe go even further clear at the top. But I don't know. I think they're going to be tougher than they've been. Oh, wow. He's all the way through. And he's... Oh! The first chance of the game goes to Partizan. So they're clearly not going to be as bad as they have been against the other sides. They'll probably step up and beat us now. You know, they've been terrible against everyone else. But no doubt they're going to raise their game for the derby. Who knows? But only time will tell. Oh, hello. Antic in the bottom corner here. Out to Adamenko. Antic with the cross whipped in. Gajic, and it's come back to Militic. And it's cleared again. Cernic. I don't know whether that counts as a chance. I think it... No, it doesn't. Adamenko, ball in. And, oh, it's caught in the end by Lucas. Or Lukac. Sorry, apologies. I thought we might have had a good chance there. I don't know if that was actually the highlight, because I don't really see a shot happen. Or win that header. Well done. Down to Gajic. Gajic has sort of gone off the boil a little bit after a really strong start to the season. But that being said, I hope he can come back into form again today. That's a bit poor. I say that the moment he just loses the ball. Skepovic, don't just let them do that. Come on now, lads. Oh, that's a bit poor. I'm tempted to just drop a little deeper against them. This seemed to work against them when we played them at home. Oh, let me guess, free kick. Oh, no. Oh, thank God. I hate those goals. Oh, not another one. Oh, come on. Oh, it's one of those games, isn't it? I mean, they've had 4 clear-cut chances so far. Fair play to them. But, Jesus, what is with those free kick goals? Like... Oh... 2 in a row. Nice dive for the second one, though. I'm glad that worked. I hate those goals. Those ones you can see where they bounce back off the free kick. You're guaranteed to concede. It's horrible. We've not been good enough in the first half, though. That I must make abundantly clear. This has been really poor from us, actually. We need to change some stuff up at half-time, I think. Getting at 1-0, and we'll have to try and push them a bit in the second half. But that's a poor goal to concede, really. Right, we're going to go attacking in the second half. I'm going to push up higher again, because clearly there's no point in dropping too deep now. We're going to have to try and squeeze them. We're going to push higher up again. I'm also going to get stuck in. Just try and force something out of them, I guess. We're also going to just take a little look at these and see. Yeah, okay. We need something in this second half. We've been really poor. Considering how dominating we've been against everybody else we've played, and considering how bad Partizan have been against everybody they've played, it would be a shame to suddenly come here and just collapse all of a sudden out of nowhere. But then that's FM for you, isn't it? Oh, what a sec. Oh, for fuck's sake. They've been incredibly clinical. I mean, they've created 6 clear-cut chances from very little in terms of actual number of shots. I can't believe we're still letting goals like this in. Great save, but then why do the defenders not bother actually trying to defend it? Just throw yourselves at it. I can't believe we're losing. I mean, I can believe we're losing this. When you look at the stats, it's quite clear why we're losing this. But I can't believe that from all the things going up to this game, they've just completely done us. Right, what have we got? I'm going to bring on Otto here because Militic just isn't having a good time. And I know Jovic isn't either, but he is a better player overall. So I'd like to think that he's got more chance of coming up with something brilliant later on in this game. I just need something here. It just ain't happening for us, is it? Take more risks, yeah. Let's get some width going and maybe whip some crosses in. I don't know, maybe shoot on side. Let's just get some shots. See if we can score a long ranger or something. I don't know, it's just... Ah, damn. Let's get Ristich off, actually. Apparently he's looking knackered, but who can we even bring in? I tell you what, who we're bringing. We'll bring in Zahavi. He looks decent on the ball. He's just not quite had a chance yet. I'm disappointed in our performance there. We've been really, really poor. I mean, I don't think it's going to make any difference in terms of the league, and as you can see, I don't think it literally isn't going to make any difference, but I'd like to think we're better than this. And it looks like we're not better than this at all, actually. And we're going to lose the game quite comfortably in the end. 2-0, this is a really woeful performance, but the goals we've conceded as well have maybe the most disappointed thing about that. There we go, 2-0 to Partizan. Disappointing, but that being said, the gap at the top is still 10 points. They've not really been able to take advantage of that, anyone else, and that only pulls Partizan back to 19 points behind us. So I guess it's not the worst thing in the world, but it does end our winning streak, which is a shame. Oh, I can't believe... I mean, we don't deserve to win the game, let's make that very clear, but the goals we've conceded were just poor. Really poor goals. So, in our next episode, we are going to concentrate on... What we're going to concentrate on? I'm thinking probably go to here and do the Agrodino game at home, because obviously that's the next month, basically. I mean, it means there'll be quite a few games in the next... But that's just April, basically. So, yeah, I think that'll be good. And then we'll probably do the last, probably 5 games in the last episode of the season. So, guys, if you like what you've seen, please drop a like on the video. And if you'd like to even more than that, please subscribe to my channel for more Portsmouth and Red Star Belgrade in your inbox every single day at 5:30 and 8 o'clock. And I'll see you guys in the next episode for the game against FK Agrodino. Hopefully that could be when we wrap up the title. See you guys soon. Bye-bye.